up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of HonesTEA with your boy John. Let's get right into these topics, you guys. Your presidential candidates is pissing all over Grammys. Kanye 2020 is at it again on Twitter. First of all, let me just say, you running for president doesn't look good at all. Kanye's on the Twitter rant and his bipolar is acting up. He is fed up with the music industry. He is on his Twitter rant talking about how Jay-Z sold all of his masters just so Jay-Z can get his masters. He's talking about getting Taylor Swift masters back. He's talking about following Christ, which there's nothing wrong with that. But a few years ago, he slammed Mace for being a reverend, and it's just like, okay, Kanye is doing way too much. And so if you want to run for president, this is not the way to go about it. A lot of people think that Kanye took it too far when he started showing a video of him pissing on a Grammy, saying that this award ain't shit, this music industry ain't shit, and it's not everything that everybody makes it seem out to be. To a point, he makes sense. I think it's very, very disrespectful to piss on a Grammy. Not because of the actual award show, but just because people work their asses off to earn a Grammy. Sometimes people are given a Grammy due to popularity, aka Cardi B. You get people who actually vote for you to get a Grammy. You are pissing on this Grammy where people actually voted for you to get it, who bought your music, who supported you to actually get these Grammys and to actually earn them. That's just like Donald Trump pissing on the American flag because nobody voted for him this year. I'm gonna speak that into existence because we need to get him out of office. It's disrespectful to people who voted for you, and now you want to get mad because the office ain't everything that it seems to be, and now you want to start pissing on flags. People want to sit there and blame on his bipolarness, but he know what he's doing. So I'm not gonna say that this is just his bipolar acting up, even though I was kikiing on it earlier, but it's not that. It's literally Kanye West being an asshole and trying to expose the music industry. Other than that, let's go on to the next topic. So the next topic that I want to talk about is Loughlin's prison choice. So last year, there was this big-ass college scandal where people were paying people to take their SATs and getting their ass into good colleges. I'm Becky from Full House, and this other girl were accused of doing that for their daughters. Not only were they accused, but they were found guilty. So as a punishment, they got 2 months in prison. Now, Becky has the privilege of choosing the prison of her choice. I'm pretty sure they're gonna blame this on the pandemic, but at the same time, is that black men don't get the prison of their choice. African-American lady who switched zip codes to get her child in a better school didn't have a prison of her choice, nor did she have the luxury of having 2 months in prison because I believe she got 7+ years. That whole college scandal thing really irritates me. You have people, not necessarily black people, but majority of them are black people. You have people who work their ass off from preschool all the way up to their senior year, work their ass off, study, don't miss days of school, get in extracurricular activities, do things that they probably don't even like to do just to get into these top elite schools. And then you have white people who pay their way in, who have people take their test for them just for them to get into this school. What does that teach a child? I'm not for sure if Loughlin had the smartest kid in the world, but if she did, she wouldn't have to get nobody to take a test. She's probably a dumbass. People work hard to get into these schools. I'll basically go off of people who have the most money. At the end of the day, I never heard somebody having a Harvard scholarship. Most of the times, if you go to Harvard, or if you go to Yale, or if you go to all these elite prestigious schools, shit, you paying out of pocket. Ain't no scholarships, ain't no loans, ain't no grants. And if they are, they've been given away. People who work their ass off for these schools aren't being able to get into these schools because the people are paying their way in there. Somebody who was actually smart could have been enrolled in that school, but they had to get rejected because they went with the highest bidder who cheated. And now you got caught, and now you go into prison for 2 months, and now you get the prison of your choice. That is so unfair. To be honest, I don't think Loughlin should have went to prison, nor do I think the other white girl, especially the African American who decided to change zip codes, because she didn't cheat, she just lied on her zip code. I don't think they should have went to prison at all. I think what should have happened was the daughter should have got kicked out of school immediately, and they should have paid a fine to student loans, and then fuck jail time. I think with the African-American lady is that her son or her daughter shouldn't have been able to go to that school and find her a better school, and then she should find a way to move over there so that way she can get into the school. If you're gonna punish somebody, don't give them a choice of punishment. At the end of the day, shame on you, Becky. Shame on the other bitch, I forgot her name. She's not really important right now. But at the end of the day, this shit is complete white privilege. You don't give a black man a choice of prison. You don't give a black woman a choice of prison. Let's just go on to the next topic, you guys. So Cardi B files for divorce from Offset, and it's official. Last week I made a mini episode and I basically explained to you that Cardi B had filed for divorce from Offset, and now it really is official. First of all, I never want to believe anything that come out of Cardi B's mouth because Cardi B is a publicity queen, and on top of that, she do anything for clout just to get her name in the media. At first, I felt bad for Cardi B, But once the cheater is always a cheater, so at the end of the day, if you choose to deal with a cheater, you're going to continue to get cheated on. Then she went on live to thank her supporters for having her back. She addressed the rumors about Offset having another baby on the way, which is why they end up getting a divorce. But that wasn't true. But if I found out 9 months later that this bitch got a baby, it's a problem. She also claims on this Instagram live that she's very happy and that when she found out that Offset was cheating on her again, she didn't get mad. She didn't get even. She was just like, okay. And then she just said that she had enough and she was filing for divorce. Mark my words, this is all a publicity stunt. Won't be too soon till Offset has his turn being on the blogs and being in the media saying whatever he got to say. I bet you they're going to make a public apology. I know how Cardi B works, okay? She's a publicity stunt queen. And everybody keeps dragging Cardi B because of the WAP song, and she's talking about how she got some wet ass, you know what? And people are like, oh, well, y'all shouldn't be dragging her because she divorced an Offset. If you got some good WAP, he wouldn't be cheating, right? He ain't got good WAP. That's why she can't keep her man, and that's why she's divorcing him. Publicity stunt at its best, but you guys can believe whatever the fuck you want to believe. It is what it is. Other than that, let's go on to the next topic, you guys. So Nene Leakes is back on social media. So Nene Leakes deleted her Instagram a couple of weeks ago. Everybody was in an uproar because everybody thought she was suing Bravo. Everybody thought that she got fired from the Housewives of Atlanta. It was a whole bunch of rumors and allegations about Nene. To find out, Nene comes back on social media and she does announce that she's not going to be returned to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That does not mean she won't be returning at all. She just won't be returning this season. Like I said on last week's episode, there was a lot of allegations about her suing Bravo for color discrimination and a lot of lawsuits that's going on with Bravo right now, and it's not having nothing to do with Nene. She went on Instagram Live and she basically said that she wasn't returning. That does not mean she's not going to return for the following seasons because at the end of the day, Nene is the OG housewife. Nene makes really good TV. I just don't see Nene going anywhere because what's going to happen to the Real Housewives of Atlanta franchise? They're not going to go anywhere. So knowing that Nene is not going to be on the Housewives of Atlanta this season, the Housewives have to step their shit up this season because if they don't, it's going to be very, very boring. Just like the past seasons have been boring without Nene. Kandi, Porsha, Cynthia, all of them have to step it up this season. Because when Nene is going to be gone, this season is going to be very, very dry and boring. I forget who else is on here, but they have to step it up. I don't think this season is going to be really good unless they have drama. If Porsha is beefing with Kanye because they started on social media a couple of months ago, if they're not in each other's faces this season, then it's going to be boring. If Kandi and Ty's not divorcing this season, unfortunately, you know, I don't want that to happen. But if they're not divorcing, if they're not having marriage problems, if Mama Joyce is not inserting her nose where it don't belong, then it's going to be boring. If Kenya is still trying to pursue this relationship with a gay-ass man, if he's not on this season, it's going to be boring. If Cynthia has not moved from Lake Bailey, if Cynthia has not got married, it's going to be boring. Eva already left because Porsha was threatening to beat her ass. She's off the show. Marlo doesn't have a peach. I don't think she would ever get a peach because of Andy. But she's not going to be much on the show either because, you know, Nene is her girl. You get Giovanna on the show who I really don't think would do anything without Nene being there because the whole point of her being on the show was because of Nene. So if you bitches is not fighting this season, like literally fist fighting this season, then I'm not watching. And it's no shade because I love Kandi, I love Porsha, and I love Kenya. But y'all do not make the Housewives. Y'all don't. It's Nene. I'm not even trying to ride Nene coattail. But bitch, it is what the fuck it is. Bring Phaedra back. Phaedra, Kandi, Nene, Kenya, Porsha, Kim Zolciak, and Shamari. That's what you call a dream team. Period. Until then, the Housewives of Potomac will stay in first place compared to Real Housewives of Atlanta, who've been around for the longest. Last week, K Michelle took to Instagram crying about how badly she wanted a role on P Vally. Guess what role it was? Mercedes. First of all, I don't see it. Just because both of y'all bitches is from Memphis does not mean that you deserve to be on the pole. Mercedes is an actual dancer, okay? And she just so happened to be able to act too. You can't act. You got rid of your booty because it was hurting you and it was causing you back problems and all this type of pain. Then you got a titty reduction because it was causing you back problems and all types of pain. So at the end of the day, bitch, you don't have the body for it. I probably wouldn't have watched if she was on there because then it'd be like, no. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of this show? To be honest, I think one of the main reasons why she didn't get this is because of her attitude and that she can't act. But K Michelle has the most negative attitude in the world. She never supports women, never supports black women. She's always on a rant about how she thinks she deserves something over somebody else. There are better things for you, K Michelle, like Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, or Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, or Love and Hip Hop Miami, or Love and Hip Hop New York. That's where you belong. Get your ass in the studio. Because you over here talking about you want to do this country album. I just found out that you finna have this new single with Billy Ray Cyrus, which I'm not here for, but I'm definitely here for Billy Ray. Music is what you're supposed to be good at, not acting, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you're over here trying to pursue an acting career, what's going on with your musical career? Is it not working out? Could it be that the producers and the beat makers and hit makers and stuff like that don't want to work with you because of your attitude, because you just have this sense of entitlement? Is your record label finally getting ready to drop you because they don't want to deal with your attitude? Because that's what it seems like. Like I said, K Michelle, keep that crying shit to yourself. You wasn't going to get the Rhoa Mercedes anyway because you don't look the part, but you definitely got an attitude for it. You a bitch. You're very negative. Mercedes wasn't negative, you know what I'm saying? But she was probably a little jealous of Autumn. But at the same time, it's just like, girl, that role wasn't for you. What's meant for you is meant for you. Love and hip hop is meant for you. So the last topic that I want to talk about is the Real Housewives of Potomac. Monique got on my nerve last episode, and I love Monique to death. You guys know that. I think Monique is probably one of the realest housewives on this show. But at the same time, she's not perfect either. Monique was irritated because Monique started to have a bonfire and cook s'mores over the campfire. And Candace and Giselle was basically telling Ashley about her husband. So she got irritated with them because she felt that it was disrespectful. But what they were doing was they was telling Ashley about her husband and how he was out here creeping and shit. And this broke the news to Ashley. And Ashley didn't seem surprised at all. On last week, like I said, Ashley basically said that they do have an entanglement. They have threesomes before where they invite people into the bedroom, more than likely as men, for Ashley and Michael. She checks to see if Michael has been cheating. Like, she has her worries, she has her issues, she has her concern, but I really don't think Ashley gives a fuck. She's only concerned about that money and her child. She has another baby on the way, so she's really just collecting this money. What irritated me about Monique was that when Ashley, Robin, Giselle, and Candace were trying to explain to her, like, hey, like, the reason why we didn't show up was because we was trying to explain to Ashley that, you know, her husband may be out here cheating on her because he was talking to this bitch at the bar and X, Y, and Z. And Monique was like, y'all doing too much or whatever. Candace specifically, you're doing too much. You always in somebody else's marriage. Mind your own business and all stuff like that. But I personally think that Monique was jealous because Monique wasn't involved. She was over there making s'mores and they didn't include you. And I think that was very, very bogus and selfish of you, Monique. And it kind of shows the type of person that you are, because at the end of the day, if it ain't about you, then you got an attitude. Monique was basically trying to seem like Candace was being messy. I don't think Candace was trying to be messy at all. I think that she genuinely felt concerned for Ashley, and I'm pretty sure she probably got a laugh out of it, like, yeah, bitch, is what you get. But at the time, she wasn't coming off like that. On next week's episode, this is supposed to be the big fight, and Monique finally beats Candace's ass. Other than that, that's all I have for you guys today. Like, share, comment, subscribe below, you guys. I'll be back next week with another episode.